you're saying no, but your spirit, your eyes are saying something else. Like, yeah, we all go to the top.
No, I'm talking about actually dressing like a female. I'm thinking that's what you're saying, but as a different religion, what you mean by what you're saying? Religion.
Whether a man has on a dress or a skirt, whether for homosexuality or his religion, it's still the same sin. That's how correct God is. All we're doing, we're grooming our babies to what break God's laws. My sister, you were just here a second ago. This your family?
Yeah.
Real quick. That's your daughter. Tell her, come here real quick. I'm going to show you a little bit of God's wisdom that's going to change it from the path she's going down. Give me that in Jeremiah. As is the mother, so is the daughter. Hey, beautiful sisters, come in real quick. This is a mom. I'm going to show y'all something. We're bringing out, this is the Bible we're reading, the King James 1611. The same Bibles y'all got, right? The difference is God says a man of God must read his words to provide solutions to the problem we all face. Right? Here is a true saying. Read that.
The book of Ezekiel, the 16th and verse 44. Behold, everyone that uses proverbs shall use this proverb against you, saying, as is the mother.
The proverb is, as is the mother,
so is her daughter.
Meaning what? The same thing the product of mom is what the daughter is going to become.
Right.
Do y'all believe in that saying?
Yeah, they say the sins of the father belong to his son.
Right. So what God is saying, for example, are you mother? You're. Wait, this is the daughter? Oh, that's your daughter. So who is she to you? Oh, sisters. And who's she to you? All sisters, right? So now, did you guys have a father? Was your mom married, or is she married? So, what about you? No, right? She's the only one, right? So, listen to what God is saying. Read it again.
As is the mother, so is her daughter.
So now you said this is your child, right? Is the father in her life? Or you? Wait, you said you make sure. Are you married? You're married. So that's a good start, right? Because guess what's going to happen? She's learning first encounter of what a relationship of a man or woman should be between you and your husband. You understand? You're the first, her father is the first example of how a man should treat her. Do you guys argue a lot? How old are you? 29. Y'all argue a lot. It's, you know what it is? Because you're so desensitized that you don't realize it. I'm telling you, I was married young. You argue. So there you go, because your facial expression. Here's why. Because you're saying no, but your spirit, your eyes are saying something else. Like, yeah, we argue all the time. Well, here's the thing. Your marriage, though, is not the marriage of God. And I'm going to explain to that because it all ties in to the laws of God. God likes order. Satan likes confusion and chaos, which goes when you break God's laws. You follow me? Give me marriage is honorable, real quick. I'm going to show you the difference. You have a boyfriend? You have a boyfriend? Now, here's the thing. How old are you again? How old are you? Now, you're the oldest of all of them? Oh, 29. So you were what? 20. The reason why I'm saying that, there's 12-year-olds having sex. There's 13-year-olds with babies. This is the reality right now. Why? Because there's no father in their life. The mom is busy working 2-3 jobs. So the child is left alone, and they're being taken advantage of. That's why I say that. This is the reality of the black and white community. Right? Because we're void of God's laws. Read that.
The book of Hebrews, the 13th and verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all.
So my sister, what's your name? Tracy. So you're setting a good example for your younger sisters. Marriage is honorable, but guess what? There's a lot of marriages that's toxic. There's abuse, right? There's adultery, meaning the man steps out or the woman steps out. That's common in our community. Brothers will brag about it. Yeah, that's something with that brother wife. So I'm showing you, all marriages are not what?
Marriage is honorable in all.
So not all marriages are honorable. But when your marriage follows the principle of God, read.
And the bed undefiled.
So God says marriage is honorable, right? And the bed undefiled meaning what? What happens with a man and a woman in a bed? What happens? There you go. So God is saying, no, we got to stop complaining because our people, we learn lies. God is a very real person. The Bible is real, yes. sex is only meant for a husband and wife.
Right.
Because when the child comes, there is, oh, it's not mine. You understand what I'm saying? Boyfriend and girlfriend, that's not mine. You're going to have to prove it to me. I need a blood test. That's what goes on in our community.
Bring it
But
out.
God says, when you and your husband is married now, when the child comes, that's a blessing. Oh, yes, I got to see. Right? But we got to backtrack real quick. Timothy 5:18. So, Tracy, you're good to go, but what's your name? Shanti? Mayan? Maya, you got to use your house voice. I know you louder than that. These young girls is loud. You said Maya? Okay, Maya. Read that.
The book of 1 Timothy, the 5 and verse 14.
Wait, you said you got a boyfriend? So we got 3 sisters, total for once married, and none of y'all got a boyfriend. You don't do what? Your only relationship is with Allah. You know how many Muslim women say that? Before I became the man I am today, I was a nigga. And believe me, well, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you, under Islam, you're still the same woman. And the reason being, hear me out, I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you. Okay, watch this. What's your name again? What's your name again? What's your name again? Mel. You see that woman walking down the street with the book bag? She got on jeans, right? She's not a Muslim, right? You're a Muslim with jeans on, right? Sweats. Is it pants?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm going to show you real quick. We're going to sidetrack. Give me that law real quick. I want to show you something. Because remember we read earlier, the laws of God are perfect. That's the only thing that's going to change your spirit. That's what converts you. If I'm a thief and God's law says thou shalt not steal, right? And I go get a job like the law says, I stop sinning. I'm one step towards perfection. You follow me? So our job is to learn all the laws of God and apply them. And in doing so, we become perfect. So I'm going to show you one basic law that's common now that a lot of women is going to be judged for. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, the 22 and verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So God says the woman shouldn't wear what belongs to a man, right? Read on.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
Neither shall a man wear women's clothing.
What verse in the Bible does it say what belongs to a man?
We gonna get that. Well, right here, just to pick your brain, because you said you follow Islam. You're a different woman now, right? So now let's read the last part of that again.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
So we addressing women's clothing, right? If a man, if your husband, back to you, Tracy, you go home with your child, you open the door, he got on a dress and a skirt. Would you accept that? No.
The izar,
Hold up.
is basically a dress.
No, hold up. Tracy, but you said no.
No, I'm saying, no, this is the way you saying it now, King.
No.
And he went back on
I'm going to show you something. No, listen to what I'm saying. Your true answer was spiritual. We're talking about dresses and skirts.
No, I'm talking about actually dressing like a female. I'm thinking that's what you're saying, but as a different religion, what you mean by what you're saying, religion-wise, or like dressing
I'm
like
going to
women?
show you the laws of God is very plain. I
Let's
mean,
put it
any
plain.
man wearing a dress or skirt, whether it's religion or for, hold on. I'm answering the question. Whether a man has on a dress or a skirt, whether for homosexuality or his religion, it's still the same sin. That's how the way God is. You follow me? So now, here's the beauty of what's happening. You said they call it a what?
It's an izar.
IUIC. Now, check this out. Now, so what are women's garment? We said skirt, dress, right? That's women's garment, right? So if a man wear that, is he right or wrong?
Exodus 28.
No, I'm saying, God says, if a man wear a dress or a skirt, is it right? Is it wrong? Yes or no?
God is good.
That's wrong. Good. I'm going to address the confusion. I'm showing you because your confusion shows we have removed our mind from God. We've been corrupted. That's what it's showing. Now, read the top part of the verse.
The
Hold
woman.
up, sis. We talking about the laws of God right now. Murder, hold up. Murder, thou shalt not murder. It's the same law universally. So we're talking about the laws of God right now. You follow? Read that.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a
So
man.
now God says women shouldn't be wearing men's clothing.
Which is
pants. Say you got that.
But who is you to tell a woman? No. What's scripture in the Bible says that men only wear his image?
Wait a minute, sisters. Tracy.
No, answer the
Tracy.
question.
I gotta answer Tracy's question. Answer the question.
What if that's God's doing? Women are fighting themselves. You don't need no
Okay, Tracy, we talking right now. Hey, my brother with the green hair. My brother with the green hair. My brother, we discussing the Bible. Have some respect for God. Now, if you think you would, let God speak. So here's the thing. So Tracy, we talking about one issue right now. Dress code. Let's stick on that. All right? So let's read it again.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
The same way you said, a man shouldn't wear women's article of clothing, you got to have the same zeal and attitude towards women wearing men's clothing. That's what God says. Which is pants now? Good, that's a great question. Let God answer that. John 6:63.
Bring it out.
So, my brother, I'm sorry, you got the answer to her question? No, we giving God answer right now. So let God speak. Let God speak. Believe me, I believe you read the Bible. You know what you're not doing? You're not applying God's laws, so you don't have the understanding. And I can tell, and guess what? The same thing we addressing pertains to you. So my sister. So I'm reading the words of God recorded by the prophets. So now, Tracy, you asked a great question. Why does God say a woman shouldn't wear pants? Here's the answer. Read that.
Book of John, chapter 6 and verse 63. It is the spirit that quickeneth.
God says it's your spirit that's really you, what's alive. Read on.
The flesh profiteth nothing.
Your flesh is a house for your spirit. Right? When people die, Tracy, when people die, their flesh breaks back down in the ground with their bones and the cave becomes dirt again. But your spirit goes back to God. Read.
The words that I speak unto you.
Tracy, here's the answer. The words, right? The laws of God that he commands us to follow, what are they?
They are spirit.
They are what?
They are spirit.
What does God mean his words are spirit? Read.
And they are life.
And they are life. Here is what he means. Hold that. Give me Romans 6:23. God's words, whether if you keep them or disobey them, it yields to life or death. It's spiritual. Read that.
Book of Romans, chapter 6 and verse 23. For the wages of sin is death.
God says now, because remember he says the words are spirit. They are life and then they're death when you don't keep them. So sisters, read it again.
For the wages of sin is death.
So sister, what is sin? Because God says sin, your payment for sinning is death. So what is the sin? What is sin? What is sin? God, read it again for us.
For the wages of sin.
Right, that's one form of sin because God says a woman should be dressed in modest dresses and skirt.
Right.
Men, pants were made for men. And God says they're spiritual. You wonder why most of the women are so manly now? Because with men's clothing that's spiritual, you take on a masculine spirit. Right. That's what God is trying to explain to y'all. Think about it. When a homosexual man wants to be feminine, what clothing he puts on? The woman's clothing, because that's spiritual. So now you got a masculine man now that's all soft-spoken and delicate because he has a women's spirit by those dress codes. Right. That's what God is trying to show us that we forgot. You understand, my sister? So, my sister, you agree with that? You agree with that? That God's laws are spiritual to you? Yes or no? Maya, what do you agree with God's laws that is spiritual? I gave a valid example. When a man wants to be a woman, he wears women's clothing. Right? So now, here's the thing. Romans 3:1. Here's the thing. Now, this is what we can't control. Because it says life and death. Matter of fact, give me Deuteronomy 11:26. God's words are spiritual. Whether you believe it or not, the effects of you breaking God's laws, you wearing men's pants, it's a masculine spirit coming on you. Right. And the last stage is, I don't need a man because I am the man. That's the growth throughout life. That's what happens with that attire.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity.